Welcome back here on the Anglers Extra pregame show. It's time for the Manager's Show. Max Herz here with John Schiffner, the manager of the Chatham Anglers. Schiff, how you doing?
Oh, excellent, very good. I wish the sun would come out because this is a nice place. Cape Cod's a pretty nice place, and it's been pretty dreary the last 10 days or so. So I'm hoping for this weather to break so we can show these kids. They've seen it. They've got a little taste of what it's like to be on Cape Cod, but they need more, and I need more. I want to get out fishing. This wind's got to go away. The fog's got to go away. I got to do some fishing. And so does D'Antona. He's killing me right now. He was so desperate he went out to Denison fishing off a jetty someplace. I was hoping he didn't fall in.
Despite the poor weather yesterday, great effort from your team, a doubleheader sweep over Wareham. How pleased were you with the start-to-finish effort over those two 7-inning wins?
Very pleased. I mean, we did a lot of things right that a baseball team has to do. We had good pitching, we had good defense, we had good hitting. You know, we didn't miss any signs. You know, we played pretty much as good a baseball as you could expect a team to play this early in the season. It was really, really good job. I was pleased. Execution, you know, we got some bunts down, we had some hit runs. We just did some good things, and if we continue to do that, we're going to be just fine.
John Schiffner started game 2. He was near perfect, completed 5 innings. How pleased were you with him?
Oh, it was a great effort, outstanding effort. I mean, John just moved the ball around like I've told you too many times. Worked fast. Slow, yeah, okay. Change speeds, and just try to get him out. Throw strikes. He threw strikes. I didn't think he walked too many people. His changeup was great. He just spotted his pitches up. He threw a very good ball game.
Nick Patton, 2 home runs. Where does his power to opposite field and dead center field come from?
Well, part of it is Nick's a tremendous athlete. I mean, you just look at his footwork around first base. He's really, really talented over there. He's a good athlete, and some of your better hitters are usually good athletes. And he also has a hell of a hitting coach down there at Delaware, or a former Chatham A, Jim Sherman. And that Jimmy can teach hitting. He knows what he's talking about, and I'm sure Nick is one of his best pupils right now. I mean, Jimmy provided Kevin Mensch to us a number of years ago. He knows what he's doing, and I think that's part of it. Nick's a heck of an athlete. I mean, just watch him out there. He's fun to watch. He's probably one of the most talented right-handed first basemen I've seen.
3-0 lead for you after 1 in game 1 yesterday. Then suddenly the game's tied up after allowing a 3-run homer. How pleased were you with that answer in the 2-run home run by Patton?
Well, we did the same thing against Bourne last week. We got down and came back, and there was a little fight in the dog, and we left the go-ahead run on in the 9th, and we don't. It looks like this team doesn't like to lose, and then we come in and got the good relief performances in both games. So, like I said, it was a pretty good group effort by a lot of guys doing a lot of good things.
It was foggy. We saw it, and we saw it certainly affect fielders on both sides.
Right.
How do you prepare your guys to play in the fog, specifically outfielders?
There's no way you can, unless you were lucky enough sometime in the early season to, have a fog and you turn the lights on and let them hit, but somebody might get hurt. You can't do that. And the fog is so, that was pretty good last night. I can guarantee you that a different umpiring crew might have bagged that first game, let alone the second game. And this crew just said, we're gonna push on and see what we can do. And like I said, it's not like rain. You can look on the radar and you can see the rain coming. You can say, okay, we're going to stop because it's going to pour like hell in a few minutes. Fog, you can't see. You don't know when it's going to come in. There's so many variables involved with the fog. You just got to deal with it. You just have to deal with it. And, we were pretty lucky last night. I think there was only 1 or 2 balls that got up there and got lost. Hats off to the umpire crew. They rolled the dice and it worked.
You said yesterday that you think you might have one of the best catching trios in the Cape. Shea Langoliers gets his first start today.
Right.
How do you plan to deploy that trio game by game?
They're just going to play every day. Every 3 games. Like I saw them earlier tonight. And Shea's starting tonight. Tomorrow is going to be Fabian. Then it's going to be Colby. And here we go. And then one of them can play first base if needed. They all can play first base if needed. Cody, can play the outfield. They're versatile. They're all beat up pretty good. They've all caught, I would say, 90 to 95% of all of their college's games all year long. So they're beat up. They looked at me like, really? We're going to get some time off? And I said, yeah, you will. And it's, that's what we're here for. We're here to, prepare them, let them showcase themselves. So, I can't even guess, who had the most games. I'd love to look at their college stats just to see. But I know both Cody and Shea were approaching well over 60 games, and Fabian was probably in the high 50s because they all made their conference tournament. Then the other 2 made it. Baylor and UNC made it to the postseason. So they all caught lots of games. So they're going to be just fine with this. And I think that's the real luxury of the 30-man roster. And you want to carry 3 catchers. I think it's a good move.
Langlier's battery mate tonight will be Dan Hammer from the University of Pittsburgh. What are your expectations for him?
Again, well-coached young man. Jerry Oaks out there at Pitt does just a great job with the pitchers, and we're really pleased to be part of that pipeline. And he is going to be just like the other guys. He's going to have a fastball that he can spot on either side of the plate, a breaking pitch that he can throw for strikes, and he also can wipe you out with it, and he'll change speeds off of those. So he's just going to be a classic Pitt pitcher, and I'm looking forward to seeing him throw.
You know pitching coaches all over the country. Let's give your pitching coach a little bit of love. Rob Bono is here for his 3rd season as your pitching coach. What do you enjoy about working with him?
He's old-fashioned. He's not going to baby these guys. He tells it like it is, and I think it's a tremendous advantage to have a guy that's been in pro ball not too long ago. Rob just got released 5-6 years ago. Things haven't changed that dramatically, and he can tell these guys exactly what they need to prepare for, and stop some of the silly stuff and do this and do that. I mean, and that's Rob. He's got a very strong personality, but he's a really good person, and he really cares for those guys, and they appreciate that. I mean, I think the job Rob did last year, the last 10 days of last season, was as good of a job as any pitching coach could ever have done. We spotted guys, and it was all on his call. He just said, Schiff, we're going to do this game, and I think we're going to make it. And and then we get a chance to beat Harwich in the playoffs. That was a tremendous job by him, both getting his kids to buy in and also just picking the right guys at the right games. It's a tremendous job of being able to evaluate your own talent and evaluate what you're facing in the other dugout. Fantastic job. He's a good young pitching coach, and I hope he gets a shot soon.
Schiff, thank you.
Oh, sure, thank you. And by the way, shout out to Marianne McDonald. She whined about me telling her people that she whined. So I'm sorry, Marianne. There's a shout out.
You might be in an endless cycle here.
I'm dead. She's going to kill me when she sees me.
John Schiffner, the skipper of the Chatham A's. That's your manager's show. Time to throw it back up to Drew.